Tapes rolling. Action.
Hi, I'm Tim Flaherty, Chief of the Wexford Volunteer Fire Company, and what we're going to do here is this quick training presentation on the Scott Revolver SCBA filling station. In the time we have here, we're going to cover the components of the system and some safety precautions in filling cylinders, and then actually demonstrate how to fill an SCBA cylinder. So right now we're in the gear cleaning room off of the apparatus bay, and in this room we have the actual filling station, and then over against the wall the SCBA staging area. So when you bring your cylinders that need to be filled, they go over there, the log book's over there, and all those related items there. So the SCBA filling station in this room, what it involves is the control panel, which is basically the interface to the air compressor, which is over in the adjacent room in the maintenance shop. You have the emergency stop button. You have your pressure gauges for the compressor and the storage pressure. You have your regulator control valve, the fill control valve, and then the gauge that tells you what the actual pressure is for the breathing air, what you want to get your target to, and then when you're filling, what that pressure is going to. Down here you have the carousel. It's two-sided, so you can charge two cylinders and have two cylinders set up in standby. It includes the couplings. These are just caps that screw in to protect the couplings, the bleeder valve, and then down here is the lock for the door. So once it's closed, any kind of operation, it's not going to let you in until you do the interlock. So those are the major components of the fill station. What we're going to do next is take you over to the maintenance shop and discuss briefly the air compressor and cascade system over there. Okay, now we're ready to go through demonstrating the actual fill of a cylinder. So over in that other room, I've hit that disconnect to turn the system on. And what I do is I come to the control panel, I'm going to hit the F2 button, and then it's going to give me information on when the air sample is due, the carbon monoxide calibration date, and the hours remaining on the air purifier. If you would ever see the warning come up that say like the carbon monoxide calibration is due, I would notify a line officer so we can make sure that we get that done. So that's just information that you need to be aware of. So it's all good. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to hit the operate button, and then it's going to come up and it's going to say select compressor control mode, and you always want to select auto. And I'm going to hit auto, and then I'm going to hit start. And what auto does for normal filling operations, why you always want to do that, is that air compressor is always going to fill up those storage cylinders automatically. So you always want to run it in the auto mode for normal SCBA filling operation. So that's all good to go. The storage cylinders are full, so you don't hear that compressor kicking on. Next thing I'm going to do, all these couplings and the bleeder valves, I want to make sure are finger tight. Okay, they all are, so I'm going to lock them now. There's some residual air in the system. So I'm going to open the fill control valve just a half a turn, and I'm going to increase the regulator pressure. And what I want to do is get that breathing air cylinder pressure to what our rating of our cylinders are, which ours are 4,500 psi. You heard the compressor kick it on the other side there. So I'm going to close the fill control valve. Leave out here a little bit as I'm going to go over, I'm going to get our cylinder that we're going to fill. So I'm going to come over to the SCBA staging area. I'm going to grab the cylinder, bring it up to the inspection cradle. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look the cylinder over to make sure there's no serious gouges or nicks, any obvious damage to the cylinder that would need to be repaired before we fill it up. And as I mentioned earlier, I want to check that hydrostatic test date. This one is April 2013, so we're good. It's not going to need hydro again until April 2018. So we have a good cylinder that we can fill. And I'm going to look on here. We have a ID number that we assigned to the cylinders. This one's number 58, so I'm going to take that number, and I'm going to go over to the log, and I'm going to write on today's fill date is October 9th, hydro date 4/13, cylinder make is MSA, cylinder number is 58, and it's cylinder owner is Wexford Fire Company, and then I'm just going to throw my initials on there. So now the log's filled out, and that log also helps to serve the purpose of making sure that you're looking at that hydro date. Very important that we don't fill those cylinders that are out of hydro date. So now I'm going to take the cylinder over. Take the cap off the coupling port and connect my cylinder. Again, just finger tight. Okay, I'm going to close the bleeder valve. Now if I wanted to do another cylinder, I can connect that other cylinder up. Once both cylinder valves are connected up, you can open them. Okay, so if I did a second cylinder, now I can open that cylinder. Okay, but I don't have it. So I'm going to switch the carousel, lock it back up, and what happens is you're going to see the breathing air cylinder pressure gauge is going to drop down to match what that cylinder's reading, what the cylinder's reading on the SCBA, the breathe of the cylinder. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to slowly open the fill control valve to let air go into that cylinder. You want to do this slowly because you don't want to damage the cylinder or overheat the cylinder. Like we talked earlier, all valves open slowly. And always a good idea, if you have a cylinder that is empty or near empty, open them or let that air go in there as slowly as possible, because if you try to cram that air in there, what's going to happen is it's going to fill up, but 20-30 minutes later, you're going to go from 4,500 psi down to like 3,000 psi. And if you throw it back on the truck, they're obviously not going to be full cylinders. So try to get in there as slow as possible. You're always going to, when they're that low, you're always going to lose some pressure due to the heating of the cylinder. They're always going to heat up somewhat. So if you have the time, fill them up, let them cool for a little bit, and then come back and top them off. Okay, so this cylinder is full, so I'm going to close the control valve and unlock the door. And I'm going to close the cylinder valve. Now once I do that, I've had the other one, I've closed that one, so I'm going to open the bleeder. Okay, now I can disconnect the cylinder. I'm going to bring it back over here to our staging area, and then if I was filling multiple cylinders, I'd just sit that one aside and then bring the next cylinders up for inspection. So that's done. So I'm going to come back over here. Let's say that we're done with our filling operation. The way I want to shut this down is I'm going to back off the regulator. Bleed off the pressure, use it to open the filter valve. Put that cap back on. Okay, we let that bleed out. And then what you're going to do is, right now we hear the air compressor running over on the other side. Right now it's going down through the cool down process, so just let that compressor run until it shuts down automatically. And then when you're all done with everything you need to do, just make sure you go back over into the maintenance shop, hit that disconnect off, and then you're good to go. You can leave for today. So that's the basic operation of filling the cylinders, filling SCBA cylinders using the revolve air arch station. Thank you.